What if I told you that the roots of Ayurveda, the world's oldest medical system, go back more than 5,000 years, deeply woven into Sanatana Hindu history? Long before hospitals, before modern science, ancient Indian sages asked a simple but profound question. How can humans live long and disease-free in perfect balance with nature? From the sacred Vedas emerged detailed knowledge of herbs, diets, surgery, and daily routines, not as superstition but as science, using evidence-based observation, deduction, and logical reasoning. Ayurveda wasn't created just to treat disease, it was designed to keep people so healthy that disease barely had a chance to take root in the body. Today, let's travel back to its origins and see how Hindu history, the Vedas, and the great sages shaped this living science. Hi, I'm Salila, an Ayurveda practitioner based in sunny California. In this episode, we will explore how Ayurveda took shape as we know of it today, how Sanatana Hindu history laid its foundation, why the Vedas became its scientific backbone, and how the pioneer sages transformed this divine knowledge into the world's first complete medical literature, still guiding health for millions around the globe today. To truly understand Ayurveda, we must return to its beginning, a story deeply rooted in Sanatana Hindu history or Itihasa. It begins with a great cosmic event called as Samudra Manthan, the churning of the ocean of milk. Itihasa means the eternal phenomena. Samudra Manthan is interpreted as an allegory for various scientific and natural processes. These interpretations include the formation of the Milky Way galaxy, planets and life forms. The Devas and Asura, forces of balance and imbalance, churned the ocean using Mount Mandara as the rod and the serpent Vasuki as the rope. From this great churning emerged treasures, goddess Lakshmi, the Kalpavriksha tree, and finally Amrita, the nectar of immortality. Along with this appeared something equally precious, Lord Dhanvantari, the divine physician. He emerged holding 4 sacred objects, a pot of Amrita symbolizing health and longevity, medicinal herbs representing nature's plentiful pharmacy, a conch, the vibration of life itself, and chakra, symbolizing the cycle of balance and protection. This moment is considered the divine birth of Ayurveda. Health is not man-made, but is revealed through subtle perception of cosmic laws. Dhanvantari later reincarnated as the king of Kashi, teaching Ayurveda to sages who carried it forward. Even today, on Dhanteras, millions honor this moment not only as a festival, but as a reminder that true healing is indeed sacred. If Ayurveda emerged from the churning of the cosmic forces, how does it translate to our daily understanding? The early sages observed something profound. Disease does not appear suddenly. It begins when we drift away from harmony with food, with seasons, with our emotions, with our dharma or our value system itself. Ayurveda's purpose is to prevent this drift. The Charaka Samhita states, Swastasya swastha rakshanam, to protect the health of the healthy, and Aturasya vikara prashamanam, curing the illness of the sick. Notice the order. Ayurveda's first goal is preserving health, then curing disease. And in health, in Ayurveda, it's not just the absence of symptoms. True health is the balance of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, the body's 3 biodynamic energies that maintain, move, and metabolize. It's the harmony of body, mind, and spirit, the alignment between the individual and the environment. It is the harmony in interpersonal relationships and the harmony of our thoughts, words, and actions. Ayurveda was created to protect these webs of interconnectedness so that every human can fulfill their true purpose. Dharma, our guiding values. Artha, abundance to live a successful life. Kama, or desires from the foundation of values and from a place of fullness rather than neediness. And finally, moksha, or liberation from suffering due to attachment. A healthy body is foundational for achieving life's purpose. Without health, none of these are possible. So, Ayurveda's purpose is not mere survival, it is the optimization of life, to live long, dirghayu, to live strong, pala, to live clear-minded, nedha, and to live in alignment with the cosmic order, Rita. Once the purpose of Ayurveda was revealed, preserving life and preventing suffering, the next evolution was organizing this knowledge. This is where the Vedas come in. Ayurveda is described as an Upaveda, a specialized branch of the Vedas, most closely linked with the Atharva Veda, but supported by all four Vedas. In the Rig Veda, we discover hymns praising herbs as living beings with consciousness, capable of healing. The Yajur Veda emphasizes rituals and disciplines that purify not just the body but the mind as well. The Sama Veda reveals how vibration, rhythm, and mantras influence our emotional and mental states. And the Atharva Veda most directly organizes the knowledge of disease, diagnostics, and treatments, offering verses for both physical and spiritual healing. The sages did not just recite these insights, they observed, experimented, and refined them. Ayurveda became a living science where philosophy met daily practice. The Upanishads later gave us the profound teaching of Yatha Pinde Tatha Brahmande. As is the individual, so is the universe. The human body is a reflection of the cosmos itself. By studying one, we understand the other. By manipulating one, we reorganize the other. Isn't this fascinating? Through the Vedas, cosmic revelation transformed into codified science, precise enough for daily practical routines, yet vast enough to explain the mystery of life itself. Once Ayurveda took shape through the Vedas, it needed visionaries to bring it down to earth. This is where the great sages come in, pioneers who translated divine wisdom into practical daily science of recipes and rituals and routine. According to tradition, Lord Dhanvantari first taught Ayurveda, passing it to a lineage of sages through tapasya, through deep meditation, and anubhava, direct experience. They shaped this knowledge into medical literature. Among them, three pioneers stand out. Sage Atreya, who emphasized that digestion, Avni, is the foundation of health, linking diet, behavior, and emotions to Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, the three dynamic energies. His teachings inspired Charaka Samhita with over 600 medicinal plants and concepts. Sushruta, the surgical innovator from the city of Kashi or present-day Varanasi, gave Ayurveda its surgical dimension. His Sushruta Samhita describes 300 procedures and over 120 instruments, including cataract surgeries and reconstructive techniques like rhinoplasty, what we call a nose job, centuries before modern science. He performs studies by dissecting cadavers, working with soldiers, and healing war injuries. You will be fascinated to know his instruments and techniques are still used today in surgical operation theaters worldwide. For this contribution, Sushruta is considered the father of surgery. Charaka, a sage scientist from Kashmir, building on sage Atreya's wisdom, compiled Ayurveda as a complete medical system. He emphasized prevention, immunity or ojas, psychosomatic health, and the 6 stages of evolution of disease. To Rishi Vagbhata, we owe the survival of knowledge of Panchakarma, perhaps the world's most thorough detoxification of the body. Rishi Vagbhata and his disciples traveled all the way from Sindh, present-day Pakistan, to the deep heart of Kerala. We do not know what prompted this arduous journey. Perhaps it was to escape attacks and destruction by invaders. In Kerala, they were warmly welcomed by the ruling king and offered 8 villages to start their Ayurvedic academy. Today, these families are called as the Ashtavadyas, who are famed for their original understanding of Ayurveda. When the rest of India was colonized and knowledge of Panchakarma was nearly lost, Kerala Ayurveda played an important role in the revival of Panchakarma practices in the rest of India. Sages like Vagbhata, Charaka, and Shushruta were ancient scientists. They debated, tested, and documented methods, but never separated science from spirituality. For them, true healing meant serving both body, mind, and the consciousness. Just like the cosmic ocean was churned, Ayurveda too was churned for wisdom nuggets. First through divine revelation, then through human discipline. We have now traveled through Ayurveda's journey from its divine birth through the Vedas to the sages who refined it. But why does this history matter today? Because Ayurveda was never just ancient medicine, it's an eternal philosophy that modern science is only beginning to validate. Take the concept of Agni, the digestive fire. Ayurveda teaches us that weak digestion creates toxins or ama, leading to disease. Today's science links poor gut health to systemic inflammation and even mental disorders. Or consider personalized medicine. Modern healthcare is just beginning with genetic precision medicine, but Ayurveda already had it through the dosha philosophy. It knew that no two people respond to food or medicine in the same way. Even Sushruta's surgical innovations, rhinoplasty, cataract surgery, sterilization, laid the foundation for modern surgery. And Charaka's focus on prevention mirrors today's lifestyle medicine. But Ayurveda offers more than science, it offers purpose. It's not only about avoiding disease, it's about aligning the body, mind, and the spirit with nature so we can live consciously. So when you sip on warm water in the morning, or eat with the seasons, or practice breathing to calm your mind, you are not just following a wellness trend. You are tapping into wisdom that has guided humanity from the dawn of civilization. And this is just the beginning. If you enjoyed this video, stay tuned for the next one where we will dive deeper into how sages like Charaka and Shushruta built new insights, developed herbal treatments, and pioneered medical techniques. Ayurveda isn't just the ashes of an ancient subject, it is a living flame. It's waiting for you to rekindle that intelligence within yourself.